Meghan Markle here.
Today is June 25th, 2025. It is 4:27 a.m. Okay, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put this video. Maybe here, PYTE, or here on APTS Sussex. Alright, so let's go on Twitter. I just did this tweet on my last video, so let's continue. First tweet. Alright, so these were going around my timeline yesterday, so let's see what this is all about. Alright, let's see here. Let's pause that. Vaso equal the definition of bitch type. Alright, so she retweeted that. They can't understand that Meghan Sussex has always been carefree and free-spirited. Let's go into it because there's more to it. Pause again. She's always been a happy, bubbly person, and the people closest to her has always said that. They can't believe she has the audacity of showing glimpses of her children on her social media on her own terms. May she continue to dance, laugh, and share whatever the hell she likes, especially on her own terms. Alright, let's see here. What is he saying here? This is like, I will never expect that kind of nonsense from this guy. Isn't he a host? I don't know his name. What the hell? I don't even hear what he said, but let's see.
Huge public profile. She has, huge wealth at her disposal, a massive team. I mean, the twerking video seemed to me that it was the invention of a new PR strategy because it's all in time. The appearance coming on with Emma Greed is in time to launch new products, as we're seeing this week with As Ever. So everything
Which is fair enough, by the way.
Of course it is, and it's all a carefully managed process, and that's the aim of the business, isn't it? But is there anything authentic?
Do you think this is scheduled authenticity?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because she's gone a completely different path to appearing with Harry. Harry's doing things very, very separately to her. The depiction of her life and indeed the showing of the children on Instagram is a huge thing that they didn't want to do, and now they've plastered them all over social media. So
but you don't see their face. You don't see their face on my last video that I just did. Actually, the thing might be there. Okay, let me move it back. I was talking about Nirvana. Okay, where the musician, the group took a picture of this baby. They I read it somewhere, a couple months old. It probably still be there. Let's see here. Okay, the band is Nirvana and the album is the iconic 1991 release. Okay, I was reading. Okay, 4 months old. That's what I wanted to know. 4 months old. They took the picture of him and put it on their album. And then now, several years later, the kid is an adult. That's him in the image holding the thing, the album. Sued Nirvana for putting his picture on the album. His private is showing, and then they benefit from it. Okay? So you guys could look more into it. So if Harry and Meghan don't want to show their kids faces, what is it to you guys? Even if things were crafted or curated, whatever Meghan is doing, who are they to dare tell Meghan whatever it is, the BS that they're saying? Meghan has the right to do whatever she wants. These people are crazy. And they themselves been doing their stupid things. It's just too bad they didn't think the same way Meghan does. What the hell is wrong with these people? It's only 6 seconds left.
Their own. It's isn't for me, isn't for a lot of people, but it's 100% a PR strategy.
Okay, it works.
Okay.
There's a music there. I'm gonna have to mute it anyway. Let's pause that GIF. I never seen so many psychologists, psychics, body language experts, character detectives, etc. until Meghan hit the scene and vitaled the 2 remaining brain cells they had left. They don't have this energy for no one else but Meghan and Harry, and only Harry and Meghan. Alright, oh dear. They're in so much pain to see Meghan's business doing well. Yeah, the jealousy, my goodness. The heirs' children are rolled out or sold out quite a few times a year. Sussex children are shown at home via butt shots. Meghan isn't using her children unlike the other brothers' kids. Okay, it makes you laugh. He doesn't know her like the rest of them. How can they talk about her authentic self? Only someone who really knows could judge and have an opinion. He doesn't know her personality, her likes and dislikes. He's an idiot, another royal would have had. Right? Let's be clear. They don't want to know or understand her. Only the image of her character they create for her. Nothing more, nothing less. That's true. Yeah. Alright, so let's go back to the original tweet. Now we'll see some of the squad's comment. Okay, they've just met. They can plaster the Sussex children all over their papers for profit. That's for sure. Let's pause that again. Alright. They tag a whole bunch of people. Is that an ad? Russell is angry that the welfare royals are not getting Meghan Sussex type of coverage. Basically, the default setting for Russell's hard drive is programmed for hatred and then lying about it. Alright, let's see here.
Because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be the leader.
I think automatically a red flag for me, and here's why. I grew up surrounded by white people, raised by white people, even loved by a couple of white people at least. And still white people are a huge red flag for me. There's a particular kind of confidence that white culture breeds. A certainty that we are right, that our emotions are reasonable. Any harm we cause is always accidental. What I've witnessed in white spaces most consistently is a dangerous mix of lack of empathy disguised as logic, belief that we're naturally the good ones, deep fear of being uncomfortable. We always hide behind politeness. White people learn to center our feelings and then call it fairness. We consistently confuse comfort with safety, and we consistently confuse being nice or polite with compassionate, thoughtful, and nonviolent. They are most definitely not the same things. Being a white person raised in white culture means I need to every day consistently be working on these traits. I need to be aware of how harmful I can be to other people because of these traits. Yes, when I see people who look like me, I pause. White isn't just a skin color, it's a set of habits, beliefs, and reactions, of which cause real harm. If you're a white person and this makes you uncomfortable, good. I invite you to sit with that discomfort and use that discomfort as a lesson. And if this video makes sense to you as a white person, welcome. Join the community. Let's do the work together. I hope this helps.
Yeah, the part that he said about control, that is definitely that.
White people
Oh my
are
God.
so triggered by
I've always felt that once I started looking more into
black joy
what
because
the hell. Once I started looking more into Harry and Meghan, control is the key. They want to know, things in a line, how people move and where they're gonna go and things like that. There's this thing I had put when Harry came out with his book, when he was talking about symmetry, order, and all of that. I explained it in that video. Alright. He is so bitter. The day of reckoning is coming soon. He is just gutted because he is left with the leftover, left behind royal family, who don't really cut it anymore, especially since the late queen's passing. He and the other nasty royal water like him must go home and cry in the corner every time the Sussex are out and about. Oh well, that's on them. Yeah, they thought they had this under control. They were so confident of their decision because they never had the pushback. So they kicked Harry and Meghan out, and they thought, yay, they want the spotlight. So they kicked them out, and the spotlight went along with Harry and Meghan without even trying. They're just doing their own thing. And then at the same time, it exposes their behavior. All right, he really is. And that baby mama video really grinds their gear because it shows how endearing and goofy Harry and Meghan are. That video, not video, when Meghan appeared in the Ellen show where she was drinking in the baby bottle and Ellen was telling her to do some crazy stuff. I think that was a beginning, a way of Meghan introducing herself to people who were not following her. Maybe her old followers since Tig knew of all of this, but for people who were not following her and who her new followers, was a way to introduce her silly side. Okay, he really is. And that baby mama video, okay, I read that. LOL, he's crying because our girl has deep pocket investors. And that's the thing they were trying to prevent them from doing. This is why they removed the HRH, thinking that because of the HRH, people will not be doing business with them. I mean, the mindset of these people is ridiculous. Business, okay, business people who go to school to study business, or just in general, it's all about the money. They don't care about these words that the royal family, consider so dear to them, where they're using it against people. Like the other guy, Beckham, took forever to get his whatever alphabet he got so he could be called Sir. It's on one of my lists. I don't think I've touched that list quite sometimes when he received that honor from Charles. Okay, LOL, he's crying because our girl has deep pocket investors. I would cry too if I had to go on a national TV whining about a 7 and 3-year-old to make $100 while Duchess of Sussex get personal and business advice from self-made millionaires and billionaires. Okay, Russell is a nasty racist, triggered as his paycheck has dwindling dramatically. He appeared on Australia TV relentlessly trying to sully Harry and Meghan. Obviously, we Aussies eventually ditched his vital reporting as haven't seen him for ages. Sour man. They also mad Meghan is winning. That's the laugh here. I love it for them. All that smear campaign didn't work. Shame on William and the British media. Next. All right. There's more comment. Let's move on. Next tweet. There's another one here. I'm getting fed up of seeing the back of their heads and hearts over their faces. Who is he again? Okay, when did these royal experts get so freaking entitled? How are you fed up because you can see two strangers, young children faces? Focus on the taxpayers funded royals. However, don't get me started about Meghan's deadbeat estranged father who desperate to see his grandchildren but gives no shit about his other grandchildren who's much older than Harry and Meghan's kids. Alright, let's see here. This one is 1 minute and 25 seconds.
The back of their heads and hearts stuck over their faces when they go to Disneyland and things. I mean, either show them or don't show them at all. But I mean,
how about you not clicking on her things? Don't follow her. How about that? She's showing what she wants to show, and you don't need to follow them. My goodness, this is the generation that's passing on this toxicity to the next generation. What the hell is wrong with these people? If you're not gonna show the kid's face, don't show it at all. What about you not clicking at all on anything about her? Who told you to go click on her thing to watch the kids' faces being blurred? My God.
see what she's up to. I just think there's going to be a terrible revenge when those children grow up. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would be very annoyed if I found that I'd been used in all these posts in a strange way by my parents.
Well, there's the thing that I just showed you about the Nirvana album thing. The kid who was on the cover, you know, they didn't even blur his face. They didn't even blur his private part. Okay? He saw the musician or whatever. Meghan and Harry are protecting their kid's identity for people like him. And then he's whining about seeing Harry and Meghan's children's faces. What the hell is wrong with these people? Oh, let's play it.
And equally, they're also going to grow up at one point and discover that they never knew their grandfathers. I mean, Mr. Markle, I personally think of course, he's a broken man, but he's a rather sweet man, actually, and he did a lot for
well,
that girl.
To you, he is. To you, he is. But to Meghan, What kind of a father who teams up with his daughter's tormentors to add to Meghan's tormenting kind of thing, to bully her some more, and then prevent trying to not get her to marry Prince Harry, and then lying to her about that as well? What the hell is wrong with these people? Are pure evil.
She was growing up, didn't you think?
Yeah, I spoke to him a couple of days ago, actually, and he's just absolutely still distraught about the fact that he still doesn't have contact with Meghan.
And then, of course,
Well, he should have thought of his action. My goodness. Then he see that Meghan was trying to get mental help, and they refused to help her. And then instead of him stopping, and he continue. What kind of thing is that? Wow. I'm telling you, evil originate in the UK. They're showing themselves every day.
they will also wake up to realise that they could have been, the cousin of Prince George, the future king, and they could have been over here having a nice time.
Yeah, that could have happened if William didn't be a damn asshole. It was William who kicked them out. When Lily went to the UK to celebrate her 1-year-old birthday, okay, did William show up? Harry and Meghan flew thousands of miles to be over there. Why didn't he take advantage of that? So it's not Meghan's problem. They try. Harry and Meghan try to be reasonable with these people. But if they don't want to, what can she do? What the hell is wrong with these people?
With the other children, their cousins, they aren't going to know them. I mean, the only hope in that direction, if I'm sort of, being serious and sort of less aggressive about it, is I think Princess Eugenie could do quite a lot, because she's obviously the one who's close to Prince Harry, and if remember all that Portugal business, they were going to buy a house and things, and if those children then met Eugenie's children, then perhaps eventually they can meet, Prince George and the others. But I don't know. It seems I think I would be. I could just see a horrible revenge coming from those children.
What? This is the thing, the mindset of these people. A horrible revenge coming. They're already thinking negativity. Negativity is in these people's head. When Archie was a baby, Harry, there's some pictures where Harry was playing polo. You see Meghan with Archie, holding Archie by herself. I think Kate and her kids were there. Why didn't they mingle with Harry and Meghan? Or Meghan in particular, because Harry was playing. Why didn't they mingle with Meghan? These people didn't want to do anything with them. What the hell is wrong with these people? Okay, let's see here. Let's make it big. Are you truly aware of the situation? If their mother and let's move it. And this is an ad. Okay. Are you truly aware of the situation? If their mother and father aren't enjoying their time with you, what makes you think they would? The children are growing up and records are being kept to show them what their parents experienced from both sides of the family. They will eventually appreciate their parents for steering them clear of the chaos. That's an ad. You do not have the right to dictate their parenting choices. Simply put, look away from the screen. No one is forcing you to watch them. Thank you. Right, that's what I'm saying. Why did he go and follow them, Meghan in particular, on IG? My God, if you're not going to show their face, don't show it at all. What? Well, if you're going to complain, don't click at all. Okay, what makes you think you need to see Harry and Meghan's children's faces? Thomas Markle is a horrible father who talks to the tabloid for money, just as that woman said she spoke to him. Why? He is with a prostitute now. Okay, I don't know. Would you take your children around that man? Leave Harry and Meghan alone. All right, next tweet. Wow. These people are truly tormentors. Okay, there's another one here. I've watched this video before and laughed it off. I now realize that it is not meant to be a joke. Okay, that this man feels that Meghan Sussex doesn't have the right to remove herself from a verbal abuse, bully, toxicity. Meghan being non-white is all the reason. 27 seconds.
Meghan with her super stardust, which is why people like you are so peeved, because she turned her back on Britain. I understand we can sort out some cancelling for you, Kelvin.
I'm peeved about her
you will
actions.
recover from this.
Why doesn't she come back? Why doesn't she come back to the UK and wave to us all?
Because she thinks people like Kelvin McKenzie are going to be all.
Why doesn't she come back to wait for us all? I remember that. I did a review about this. This is ridiculous. These are freaking adults. And this is the part I just don't understand. They refuse to acknowledge what bring Harry and Meghan to the situation that they are now. Because Harry and Meghan and Archie were in the UK. They refuse. It's like this part of their brain is completely removed. Why did Harry and Meghan left? There's court documents, there's Harry's book, there's the Oprah interview, you name it. Why they don't acknowledge what the royal family did to them? And then they want Harry and Meghan to come back? Is Harry's security still there? Did Charles ever give Harry his security back? What is wrong with these people? Let's continue.
To a view.
That's true, though,
And so
isn't it,
are
Jacob?
you. You're entitled to a view, but that shouldn't stop her coming out and giving her views to our country.
Meghan with her superstar.
These people are ridiculous. These people are effing serious. That's what I'm saying. It's my first time seeing this clip. Jeez, what the F? That's an ad. Wait, did he just say, why doesn't she come back and wave to us? Yeah, he did. He did. I'm whizzing. Honestly, I think her team must sometimes show these to her and put it in context to her to make her laugh, because this is hilarious. Right, Kevin Mackenzie was the editor of The Sun 1981 to 1994, was one of the worst bullies of Princess Diana, and was responsible for most of the misogynistic ethos, which was its circulation, but permanently coercing discourse and Fleet Street. Hid audience. Okay, this wanker is so unreal. He wants her to come back to the UK so he can abuse her. Yeah, RGB News is a totally fraud. You see, I even blocked this. Come on. Sir, Meghan doesn't owe you or the British public anything. She did what you and your thugs buddies told her to do. That's right. Leave the US. I forget about that. I mean, leave the UK. Go back to America. There's the laugh here. Racism in action. Colonizers love owning black people's bodies, action, and emotion. Said, not surprised. This is my last one. Oh, I'm reading everything. He's a horrible man, a former Sun editor. He was responsible for lying that Liverpool football fans stole from the dead and dying during the Hillsborough football disaster. He was let go after comparing a biracial footballer to a gorilla. They're all a baggage for God. Next tweet. This is a TikTok thing. Okay. Yeah, I like his commentary. Him and Martin. I don't know his real name. Okay. When the truth is ugly, only a lie is beautiful. That family is crumbling and their ass is exposed. There's the laugh here. Trouble in paradise. Let's listen.
Kate cancels an event hours before showtime and it's called Recalibrating. William hides on his birthday and it's Private Reflection. But Meghan skipped a tour while pregnant, and you all acted like she burned Buckingham to the ground. Let's talk about the hypocrisy that reeks louder than Ascot's perfume cloud. Kate pulled out of Royal Ascot with less than 2 hours notice, left the King's carriage seat empty, sent staff into full panic mode. And the press response? She's recalibrating her life. She's finding balance. She's been through a lot. Yeah, no kidding. Cancer, grief, stress. I believe that, and I sympathize. She absolutely deserves time and space to heal. But explain to me why grace was never extended to Meghan. When Meghan miscarried, you called her attention-seeking. When she said she was suicidal, you called her manipulative. When she left the UK to protect her peace, you called it betrayal. Now, let's get to William, the future king. It's his birthday. He releases a perfectly staged photo with puppies and then disappears. No speech, no charity visit, nothing. And suddenly, he's brave for staying home. But Meghan missed a single photo call, and you accused her of sabotaging the monarchy. Make it make sense. You all mocked Meghan for needing time, when she was being eaten alive by the press. But Kate gets a few boos, and suddenly she needs to scale back public life for the rest of the year? Be fucking serious. This isn't compassion, it's propaganda with pearls on. If Meghan had cancelled Ascot, you would have said she was feuding with the king. If Meghan posted a family photo and ghosted the public, you would have screamed PR stunt. But when it's William and Kate, it's protect their peace. Here's what it is. Selective outrage. You don't care about duty. You care about obedience. And Meghan refused to be obedient to your narrative. Kate deserves recovery. William deserves support. But so did Meghan. And you all gave her hell instead. So stop preaching dignity when you only practice it from one side of the palace gates.
That's very good. That's very good. Let's see here. Oh, there's Martin. Okay, Kate Middleton, aka Copy Kate, aka Lazy Katie, pushes from Meghan Sussex again. Not an original thought in her scattered head. There's the hashtag Royal News, Harry and Meghan. Alright, so let's listen here.
Morning friends, happy Tuesday, how are you doing? And before we get started, as usual, creator credit time. Thank you to my little friend tagged above. Go and check out her TikTok account. I would have missed this one yesterday if it wasn't for her. Kate is back on the cover of Hello magazine on her own terms. Didn't Meghan talk about everything being on her own terms on a recent podcast? I strongly suspect she did. And in fact, I checked last night and this was the exact wording that Meghan used to describe how she was launching her own business and how she makes decisions in her life. I find it really odd that Kate's saying the same thing. As she cancels her Ascot comeback, inside Kate's mindful return to royal duties. It's all a bit crazy, this Hello article, by the way. I did spend some time reading that as well last night. To me, and without being overly cruel, it does sound like Kate's basically saying, I'm not going to do much, to be honest, and you're not going to see me for months at a time. Good luck with everything. Hope you manage to get all the things done that you need to. Yeah, not sure what's going on within that kind of family, but honestly, it does not feel good. Yeah, the vibe, the juju, it's not positive. As ever, comments are open. Thanks again to Creator Credit. Let me know what you think.
Alright, let's see here. Good that you are telling them how hypocritical they are, but I think the salty island just don't care. Yeah, they don't care. They are just following the playbook. History will never forgive them. They did it to Princess Diana and now they do it to Princess Meghan. It's racism and they wanted to put Meghan in her place because she was too uppity. Difference is Meghan is us. Okay, Meghan is to okay. Difference is Meghan to us black. White women are protected and seen as people to care for. Black women, not so much. Black women are expected to just deal and not make noise, voice anything. Okay, but she could, what is that? But she could go on 3 holidays. Okay, but she could go on 3 holidays and skiing at that. All right, let's go to the next tweet. Another TikTok video. There's this here. This is the first time I'm coming across this woman's TikTok. Well, whatever the squad share. Okay, there's no similarity between lazy Katie Middleton and Meghan Sussex. Meghan went through hell and back and still she works despite the hate campaign against her. Kate benefits from the hate against Meghan Markle. Meghan Sussex? Please, no comparison. Boy, alright. 1 minute and 49 seconds. Let's see here. And this one says Kate Middleton's struggle with royal life show a striking similarity to Meghan Sussex. Nah, there's no similarity here. Alright, let's listen to what she has to say.
I'm sorry. Where is the similarity? I think Meghan didn't stay in royal life because Kate, with her minions, were lying to the press about her.
Oh, let's not forget, she teams up with her husband to put mental issues on her. And they kick them out, okay? William kicked Harry out. And as a result, Meghan had to go along with Harry.
And not showing up to correct misinformation. Kate makes Meghan cry when it was the reverse. I mean, I'm sorry, there's no similarities. Kate had enough time in that family. She's been there for years. She had enough time in that family to get accustomed to the way of life. Only now she finds it's too much, this pressure. Come on, where was her support when her sister-in-law, right, was being vilified in the press? And she just benefited from that.
That's right.
There's no similarities.
And that was one of the things that was concerning to me when I was seeing the negativity, the negative headline consistently. And I'm like, there's this pregnant woman, which is Meghan. What's happening with the other women in the royal family? Why they're not speaking up to help her, protect her, and things like that? All right? So they all kept their mouth shut, and they all benefit from it, from Meghan's pain.
Normally, I love your articles, but on this point, I disagree. I disagree because Kate was part of the problem why Meghan couldn't stay. It was all the lies, all the misinformations that was being leaked to the press. Kate's got the press in her palms, in the palms of her hands. She's benefiting from
That's
the
right.
press. So I don't see why there is a similarity. Kate benefited from the press. There's no hate campaign against Kate, so there's no similarity between the two. She's got the press protecting her, if anything. So I think it's a laziness, and she feels that she's not getting the support that she should be getting. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If anything, a lot of people have turned away from that family because of what they did to Meghan.
That's right.
So there's no comparison there.
All right, so that's that. Let's read some of the comment. There are no similarities. Catherine, Princess of Wales, will be queen. Who cares? Okay. Alright, so that's that. There's me here. Okay, now you all should leave Meghan Sussex alone. She's minding her own business, literally. Why you and the rest of the UK are on anything about her. Oh, how I spelled this one wrong. Okay, let's leave that alone and let's black. Alright, let's go to the next tweet after I black that. Next tweet. Okay, one of two. Kate belongs in the 18th century, popping out children, cleaning the house, cooking, and staying silent. The 20th century is too modern for her. 2025 is too much for her. And today's world, people, especially the younger generation, are looking up to influences, people who are, okay, I'll come back to the thing here. There's two of two, who are building their own empires, making their own money, etc., legacy. That's why I'm not surprised that support for the royal family is declining. 2025 is too modern for her and them. Alright, let's see here. Kate Middleton recalibrating her entire life as Prince William hides on his birthday. That was the 21st. Alright, let's see this one here. King Charles dealt blow as support for the monarchy plummets and shocked new poll. The British public's favorability towards the royal family has declined in recent years, new poll find. Okay, they've been lying to themselves, telling themselves how popular they are, but reality strike. Okay, Britain's support for the monarchy is in long-term decline, suggesting King Charles faces challenges. When was that? May 5th, 2023, 2 years ago. Okay, so, oh wow. Okay, 2024, there's that last year, and this was this year. There's that. Okay, that's an ad. Cooking is doing a lot of heavy lifting in this street, laughing my ass off. Spare your BS. Okay, I cannot see that. Kate never backed Meghan. She was relishing in Meghan's pain. She's not rebelling, she's hiding. Whatever. Eventually the truth will come out. Okay, these people could lie and say all their nonsense. Eventually the truth will come out. They cannot live their authentic self. They have to lie because their authentic selves is shitty. Next tweet. I can't stop laughing. Kate Middleton has gone into hiding and will only emerge and show her face when absolutely necessary. There's the laugh here. Anyway, I'm happy that everything is going well with Meghan Sussex. She has sold out again. Her empire is growing, just like her Instagram account. Alright, let's see this here. That was June 21st, 2025. Multiple sources told the Daily Beast they expected Kate to dramatically scale back her public appearances for the rest of the year and instead increase her online and digital footprint, remotely supporting causes close to her heart. So what is that? Which is pretty much nothing. Keep throwing the bricks. Alright. If this is true, it's interesting. Quote, she wants to increase her online and digital footprint, end quote. So in other words, they want the same kind of IG attention Meghan is getting. But they will not get that attention. I wonder, does this include scaling back her vacation time? You can be 100% sure that won't be the case. What is that here? Let's pause that. Translation of that KP announcement. KK Kate will be spending most of her time looking in the mirror when not on another vacation with Billy Idol and the kids. This one is 1 minute and 24 seconds.
One of the causations is that the British royal family has been flat-lie royal since 1840.
Explain that.
Flat-lie royal means illegitimate, not allowed on the throne. So, from the Battle of Waterloo, the British royal family lost all their money and they've been funded by the Rothschilds in exchange for breeding rights. So the Rothschilds had the breeding rights to the British royal family from 1819 to 2019.
So what was the purpose of the Rothschilds needing this?
The British royal family were virtually bankrupt from 1815. So the Rothschilds funded the British royal family in exchange for the Rothschilds breeding the royals. So the whole British royal family are Rothschild Batards. And Batard is the royal name for bastard. So what I did in my legal documents is I exposed King George V of England as being sired by Tsar Alexander III of Russia, and I exposed Queen Elizabeth II as sired by artificial insemination by Winston Churchill, who was actually the illegitimate son of King Edward VII.
Hang on.
I know, it gets too much, so I'll show you a chart.
Okay.
What
so
the
you've
hell?
got it all laid out for us to see?
Absolutely.
What the hell? One thing for sure, I know the royal family has problem with managing money. That I'm 100% sure of that. So this part I agree. And some of the issues that the UK is facing, in my humble opinion, with the with what's going on with the Middle East and things like that, with you know what, let me not go into it. I was thinking more of the Jews, because they used to borrow money from the Jews, and then when they can return the money to the Jews, they create that narrative persecution. Okay, they kick them out of the country and all of that. So that's a different story, so let me leave it alone. Alright, guessing the Royal Highnesses will likely head straight to the Naga cottage on the Balmoral Scottish estate after Wimbledon, like they seem to have done every summer. They have previously taken many weeks up there with the kids before school term start up in September. What is this now? Okay, that's an ad. Well, soon. Okay, we'll soon find out if Wimbledon is one of those absolutely necessary occasions. They're phasing her out. Yeah, that's for sure. Alright, remotely supporting cause. Yeah, okay. So sick of Kate and people feeling sorry for her. She's a stalker, a liar, a mumbler, a colonel, and supposedly sick with cancer. I thought she had abdominal surgery. She likes to vacation, ski, and run to markets. Oh, and post pictures that are shopped. Prince William needs to move on. Maybe William already moved on. She just... they both are the same, okay? And I think, not that I'm taking Kate's side or anything like that, they're putting too much pressure on Kate, while the other brother, the husband, okay, William is has his own issues as well. Together, they are disaster. So let them live with their problem. Next tweet.
Tanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better